I appreciate that, Shabazz. Thank you. So we're going through the group today's Q&A and we're just answering questions, various things. Okay, if you got questions, drop them in the group or drop them in chat. Okay, so we can get these things going. Signal Genesis, yes, it launched. If you're not on it, you should be. That way you can do some strong press releases. David Hong wants to know, did we go over how to rank multiple keywords for a single GMB? Nope, not yet. We did go over how to structure your GMB, which is very important, and how to structure your website based upon your GMB. Okay. Let me answer that one. Not yet, but we did go over that. So, over structuring your GMB your GMB according to the proper categories, and structuring your website the same way is very important. What do I use for GeoGrids? Another question was about Phantom Buster. GeoGrids, I use Local Viking. I also use Local Falcon. I use mainly Local Viking nowadays. If you want to see that tool, I will be going over that tool as well on a later show and showing you everything you can do with it. If I have enough time, maybe I'll do that one today too. So what is Phantom Buster? Phantom Buster is essentially, it gives you, I mean, the easiest way I could say it's something that violates, if you want to know the real truth, it's something that makes your life easier. So for example, if you want to post something on all of social media, and whenever I post on WordPress or whenever I post on Facebook, it blasts it out everywhere. There are different phantoms you can get. It's a paid service, right? But let me show you. I appreciate that, Narian. So let me show you Phantom Buster. I'll probably wind up doing another class just on Phantom Buster and lead generation, because I use Phantom Buster in combination with a ringless voicemail or an LVM. That basically I can go in here and I can create a phantom. Let's say if it was Google and I wanted to scrape Google Maps for a specific keyword search. Okay, I got to upgrade because I got too much, but basically, it's a paid service. You can go in here and I can go, for example, roofers in Orlando, and it will pull all the roofers in Orlando. Do they have reviews? How many reviews? Is it verified, not verified, etc. Based off of that information, whether or not they have good reviews, whether or not it's been verified, whether or not the GMB is optimized, I can then do a ringless voicemail to these people and say, did you know that your Google My Business is not verified? If you need help, give me a call at bam. Hey, did you know, do you need help with your reputation management? Boom. And it's not even everybody, well, that don't really work. It's cold calling. Well, it does work. And let's say if I could drop 1,000 phone calls and it took me 10 minutes to do so, and I got even one client out of that, I kind of think it's worth it, especially if you're charging, let's say, $1,000 a month, and that's $12,000 a year contract, then it's definitely worth it. But Phantom Buster has multiple phantoms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You can go in here and see all the categories. Grow your LinkedIn network, LinkedIn search, LinkedIn scraper, so I can get their information. Google Maps search export, Yellow Pages search export, data scraping call or crawler. Basically, a lot of times what I use it for very specifically is scraping other platforms. This is one of the many steps that I use to scale my Facebook group from, it was at 500 something, then it went up to about 7,000, then it went up to about 10,000. And then once we hit 10,000, it went at scale. Now we're at almost 54, 55,000. So Text AU is another one, and it's the holy grail, Georgie boy, from what I've heard as well too. I just haven't dived into it. So, local Viking. Let's go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and answer all these questions in here instead of going through the group. It's to me a more efficient way of doing it anyway. So, drop your questions in here. I'm going to answer them that way instead of, we'll answer some of them in the group, but we want to stick to both of them, like do some demos and shit. All right, so give you an example. Let's say, so this is the local Viking platform, right? I'm going to show you all this. Go in here, local Viking. Okay, these are different clients, whatever. You click on your client or your location. Here's the various things I like about local Viking. Okay, I can set up GeoGrid searches for different clients to run at different days. I can go, okay, what's the client's GMB name? I can choose it. I can set up what search terms, everything, right? That's one aspect of it, right? So it automatically every, let's say 2, 3, every week, every 2 weeks, every month will run, if you will, a GeoGrid. All right, that's one aspect of it. Now, the other aspect of it that I like, for example, I can go in here and go, let me go to, I want a certain amount of keywords tracked. This is a patent attorney or whatever we're just starting out with. And I can go, okay, what's his post looks like? How many, I can do all my posts in here. When I go to add a post and create a post with local Viking, instead of me having to, if you will, copy the previous post and wonder, okay, what was the previous post share link and all that, in the way I stack a GMB. Remember how I stack it? Name, address, phone number, see our previous post. Well, whenever I go to create them in here in local Viking, you see this button right here. It says insert previous post SERP URL. I can do that automatically without having to copy anything. All right. I can make this a scheduled post or a reoccurring post from local Viking. So that same post will be reoccurring and post every so many days. Let's say it's an offer post or something like that. I can go in here into reviews if they have reviews and actually respond to them. I'll go into another person and show you that. I can actually go in here and insert or upload in bulk or individually questions, and then I can answer them in here. If I hit this and it goes, what's it like to be an intellectual property lawyer? And I can answer. Being an intellectual property lawyer is a great option for those who like reading and writing, blah, 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 blah. Right? You can turn on notifications if your location's properties are changed. What about, okay, I want to be notified by email or SMS if my name changes, my category changes, my employees. When your competition's spying on you and they don't really like you because let's say you're in the top 3 pack and they go in there and start messing with your shit and doing edits, I now have in local Viking where they'll let me know, hey, your category just got edited, and I can go back into, GMB and say, no, deny that edit and say, no, it's not correct. Okay. That's one aspect of it. I mean, the posts, the keywords, adding your keywords into here. You can add as many keywords as you want. Do you want it to search local, organic, and organic mobile? We always choose all. How often do you want to do? 1 week, 2 hour, 2 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, or 1 month, and then add in your keywords and it will automatically generate those reports. The reviews is great. The Q&A is great because you can do all of it from inside of the, inside the platform. All right. And I've had the one question I've had people ask me about local Viking is, am I scared of, if you will, the API, because it's ran on an API? Am I scared of the API mass affecting all your GMBs and all of them going down? No. GMBs don't go down because of the fact that they're tied to an API. They go down to the fact that you're doing stupid crap, and you and you're doing spammy tactics, and if you're ranking, people aren't going to like it. And when they don't like it, they report you. And when they report you, you need to have your DBA and all your proper, I've had in the past 30 days, probably 8 re-verifications, not re-verifications, but suspensions I've had to deal with. And I've had them all unsuspended within less than an hour. So as long as you have the DBA. So all right, so let's go back through here. So that's local Viking. I'll do a more thorough one on another day, but that's local Viking. The main reason I like it is I can get SMSs and emails whenever someone messes with my listing. Okay. I can do posts, I can do reoccurring posts, I can do previous post links. Okay, I can track my keywords. I can do a baseline report. I can show a client, this is where you were at previously, this is where you're at now. And then on top of that, then I can add in Q&As. And on top of adding in Q&As, I can also do reviews, answering reviews, etc. So it's just a ton of shit you can do inside of, you can upload images, you can do all that, right? And then give me 1 second here. And then let's go to the next question. So that's for GeoGrids, and you can do the GeoGrids also inside of there as well. And then once you do your GeoGrids inside of it, let's see what else. Your GMB SEO training is one of the best you've seen so far. I appreciate that, Narian. Let's see. Shabazz, better alternative is Texio. Yes, I've thought about using that. I just haven't dove into it yet. Looks like I'm going to have to. It's very similar to Leads Gorilla. Leads Gorilla is you can do the same thing with. I just don't prefer to do that. Give me 1 second. Okie dokie. Next question. Let's see. Texio is the holy grail. I hope it's as good. If Georgie's saying that, then generally it is. So I'll have to look into it even more. Texio, I'll make notes of that because I've definitely looked into it. How effective is prospecting with Phantom Buster, which scrapes GMBs versus Friend Connector? So what I use it for, I scrape the GMBs. We scrape their phone numbers, if you will, how many reviews they got. We'll do a whole class on this, by the way. How many reviews they got. And then once you know the reviews, is it verified, et cetera, et cetera. Then there's a platform I use in which it does ringless voicemail, right? And drops them a ringless voicemail. So they only know I call, but they get the voicemail and it's in regards to their GMB. So to me, it's very effective to do ringless voicemail over SMS, okay? LTD is over, but you can talk to Warner and might get it. Okay, the owner. Wow, bumped. Yeah, it's about 50,000. So I'll show you how I did it. Essentially, I'm going over this in another class right now, but we got from 500 to about 1,000. Then we grew from 1,000 to about 6,000 to about 10,000. Then at 10,000, it just took off like a rocket. And I did that after scraping about 6 or 7 SEO groups, if you will. And I used Phantom Buster to do so at the time. Let's see. Let's go through this. How are the credits earned? You pay for them. So on Local Viking, everything's based on credits. So your credits are depending on what package you're on. So the higher, obviously, your package, the more credits you get. The more credits you get, the more ranking reports, et cetera, you can run through. Local Viking helps out a lot. It's not expensive. I mean, to me, Local Viking, let me sign out and I'll show you the pricing. So the pricing on this is $20 a month for one listing. If you have 10 GMBs, then it's $39 a month. If you are a pro and have 20 listings, then it's 69. If you're, let's say, an agency, and it's $100 or $99 a month, and that enables you to do 40 plus listings. If you're at enterprise level, it's $149 for 70 listings or more. When you get at where we're at, then you obviously have to have more. And then at that point, you have to contact them once you're over 70 listings. So to me, it's very much worth it. All the time saving, everything it does. Is all your upcoming AI software going to do what Local Viking does? No. The AI software and different tools that I'm coming out with has nothing to do with that. Some of it is Black Hat SEO stuff. Some of it's going to be VA time clocks. And another one that I'm working on is schema. So the advanced schema that we do, I have a tool. We're almost done with it. We are done with it. It's just we're making it pretty, because unlike some tools, what I want to do is I want to make it pretty. Once it's pretty and it's user friendly, then we'll come out with it. I don't want to come out with it and it not be user friendly. But basically, essentially with the schema tool, for example, you'll enter in your name, address, phone number, your same as information, your latitude, longitude, all that stuff. And instead of you having to manually write it all and create the 40 something pages of schema, you hit enter and it creates all of it for you. And it's going to be just a basically desktop type program. Then we're also working on some Google Chrome extensions as well. All of that is going to be in my AI software called Rank AI, and that is all a part of the GMB Pro package, which is an LTD at $897 one time or $97 a month if you don't do the LTD. Let's see. Are there ways to protect your GMBs from people messing with them? No, there is not. Because the whole point of it is GMB, it's an open forum and someone sees it, they can go, hey, that's not the right information. But that's why I like Local Viking, because with Local Viking, I can set up notifications. You know, I can go over this again, but you can set up notifications inside of Local Viking in which you can have it set up so you get a notification if they mess with, let's say, your name. I'm only concerned about name, category, phone number, maybe. And it notifies me if I do any of that. Well, sometimes people will start with little small edits like your phone number, or not your phone number, but your hours of operation, and then your payments. And then if they can do those edits, they'll start doing some more edits. Permanently closed is a real easy edit that a lot of people do, especially when people are not watching their listings. Another tactic a lot of people do, especially as Black Hats, you'll go in there and you'll watch and see, you'll find, especially with Phantom Buster, what are the GMBs that people aren't posting and aren't managing, and they aren't managing their reviews and stuff. And we'll go in there and they'll try to take those listings and edit them, and then basically get them, if you will, permanently closed. And then they'll go in there and claim them. And then after they claim them, they take over them. It's a very dirty, dark, dirty Black Hat tactic, but it is very effective. The DBA equivalent in Australia, I have not a clue. Jeff, what is an equivalent of a DBA or doing business as in Australia? Instead of a business license in the States, we could have one business license. If I wanted to have 10 different businesses underneath the main business, we call it a doing business as. Jeff is a big time businessman from Australia. That's why I'm asking him. It's an ABN number in Australia. Okay, thank you, Jeff. Or Shabazz says ABR in Australia. Maybe ABN, ABR. How many DBAs can you have under one business? It varies from state to state. Okay, some states you can only have one. Some states you can have 10. Some states you can have 5. So you got to figure out what state you're in. Let's see. For an ACIC for business name, Rego and Oz, that's for Australia. Chirply, yes, that's the ringless voicemail. Chirply, We'll be going over that probably in a few weeks or so. But next week, we'll probably be going over one other tool, then Chirply, and then I'm going to show you how to use different ones. And all these different things, y'all don't have to buy them. You don't have to use them. I'm just showing you stuff that I use and stuff that makes my life easy when it comes to certain things. You can use Phantom Buster to scrape Facebook. No, not the same thing. It's multi-step. So with Phantom Buster, I have to, if you will, I can use it to scrape. No, I know what you're talking about. So no. So the friend connector, I'm using it to find specific friends. With Phantom Buster, what I'm doing is I'm going, let's say my niche I want to go after is home remodeling, or let's say real estate. And I find one of the largest groups in real estate. And then what I can do is I then go, okay, here's this large 50, 60,000 group in real estate. I have Phantom Buster go in and scrape all the members. And then after I scrape all the members, I now have all their email addresses. Then I put them inside of an email blast campaign like Active Campaign. Okay. And then I send them an email invite to whatever my offer is, or my email list, or my lead gen, or in this case, my Facebook group. And then a certain percentage of those are not going to respond, or not going to open, or not going to interact to those emails. And then I go in there and I clean up my email list. But I do that for about a month. That's just one aspect of it. That's just one aspect of it. So there's a bunch of different things we do, but that's one aspect. Okay. Your advanced schema tool is going to be awesome. Yes, I can't wait. We're working on it. It's probably about a month or less out. Georgie Boy says grab the LTD. Yep. The LTD is on the website. It's the GMB Pro Bundle Pack, right? Because I've had some of y'all keep asking about it. Now, I'll be very clear. The GMB Pro Bundle Pack, all right, is underneath the SEO courses on rankfortress.com. And what happens with that, it's $897, but I even discount it. So if someone says, hey, I bought 2 of your courses before, I take those prices off of the $897. You just have to email me at my email address, philmrush@gmail.com. But what it comes with is it comes with access to all past courses. It comes with access to all current courses. It comes with access to all future courses. And it comes with access to any AI tool that I develop, or I'm a seller. If I develop it and I come out with it and I go, here's the schema tool, that's going to come with it. When I come out with my VA clock, that's going to come with it. All those different tools come with it. All right. So, you get access to all that, all the automation tools I'll be releasing, all my templates, all my SOPs. So when I do my VA course that we are actually in the process of building, it's going to have 20 plus SOPs. You'll have access to that. The only thing you don't have access to is my Rank and Rent partnership, because that is a partnership. That is not a course. Okay. Let's see. Yes, you can sign up as a GMB Pro as a monthly at the 97 and then upgrade later. Then what would happen is I would just discount however many months you paid off of it. No one else does this sort of thing. They ain't going to discount an LTD. They're not going to say, oh, well, you paid for other courses and I'll discount it. I'm just going to do that for you guys because, I try to be a nice guy. If one switches from one website builder to another, does that GMB ranking get affected? Yes, sometimes it can, because what happens is, and I've seen it happen good ways and bad ways. So someone goes from a web builder that sucks, terrible for SEO, and they put it on, let's say, WordPress, or they put it on Gutenberg, or they put it in Duda, whatever, depending on the core vitals, depending on did they follow the structure, et cetera. The rankings can go up or the rankings can go down. And just because the rankings go down doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Sometimes they'll actually bounce back up. And when you're rebuilding a site, you have to be very careful that you follow the structures. Like, when I mean by structure, your URL structure. Did you change any of the URL structure of the pages? You better make sure you did not. All right, because if you did, you could screw things up. Also, if you change hosting, it can be not so good either for you, because sometimes you'll force Google to re-index you. And if you're forcing them to re-index you, it's almost like having them manually take a relook at your website. Okay. Yeah, it's called an Australian business number, an ABN number. Shabazz says ABR, meaning Australian Business Register. You can register on ACIC website. It's $67 a year. Yep, Chirply. We'll be going over that from Kevin. Once again, you mentioned it, Shabazz. You said you use some different techniques for Australian customers on local pages. It's the same. I mean, it's essentially the same thing, but like Shabazz, in let's say, for example, in the States, we'll do city pages and then neighborhoods. Well, in Australia, we use suburbs. You know, UK suburbs, but Australia, I mean, y'all have like suburbs out of your it's insane. Let me put it that way. And what we'll do is we'll set up it's the same, it's essentially the same thing. It's just instead of calling them neighborhoods, we call them suburbs. So the best way I can show you is, for example, if we go to Queensland and we go to Abbeywood, you got 4,000, 4613. And then you got all the different suburbs in Victoria or whatever. And it's, let's say, I'll show them to you. This is the little tool I like using to create my location pages, which we will be going over, right? So it's called geographic.org. And I'll show you all that real quick. It's an awesome freaking tool. So geographic.org, I go to street views or street maps. This is what I use to create my advanced location pages. And it's also what I use to just create my standard location pages. But let's say we go to Australia and I choose Western Australia. And then these are all the suburbs. And then if I chose, let's say Burnbury, right? These are all the streets on Burnbury. And then I can create driving directions, which is what I do in my advanced stack, to from all these streets to my GMB. Okay. When I did that on one location, it was about 3,000 driving directions. But I can do that in any country around the world: Canada, China, Cyprus, Czechia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Iraq, all these different places. The United States is way down here. Click on United States, what state? Let's say Georgia. Then you're going to choose in the state. See, instead of me choosing the city directly, I'm going to choose what county. Let's say it was Brantley County. Then if it was this one, then these are all the streets in that area. Why is this important? Well, it's important because you can add that to your location maps and stuff. All right. And we'll be going over neighborhood pages. So I actually show you exactly how I do my LTD. And then I also show you how to do, my location pages. I show you how to do all of my schema, everything. Okay. So let's see, going through your questions. What's the difference between product GMB and service GMB? So a service GMB, or what we call a SOB, is a service area business. In other words, they don't allow people to come to their physical location, but they service an area. A product-based business, or if you are a location-based business, will have a physical street address listed because they allow for customers to come into that location. It is easier to rank someone that has a physical location address showing on their GMB than a service area business. It just takes more work. Can it be done? Yes, it just takes more work. But that's what the difference is between location-based SOB and a SOB area business, okay? Georgie Boyd, easily 210K. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff. LT investments in your future. Yeah, That's what I try to tell people. Some people are already told me, said wish they, because I originally started, it was $5.97, then it took 2 weeks, and I told everybody it's going to jump up to $8.97. Can you resell my packages? Yes, you just go to, believe it or not, I actually have an affiliate sign up on my website, which I have actually told everybody before. If you go to rankfortress.com/affiliate sign up, you can sign up to become an affiliate, right? And if you sign up to become an affiliate, I pay out 25% off of any product that anyone buys off of the entire website. If it's, let's say, for example, and here's one for you, if it's SEO and a client signs up through your affiliate link, you get that residually every month for the lifetime that they're with me. Okay, so if they're with me for 6 months, give you an example, because most people don't understand. I'm terrible at math, but let's say they're with me. Average life is, let's say, 6 months or longer. I have clients been with me for 10 years, but let's say 6 months. And at $800 a month, that's $4,800. And you're going to get 25% of that. So you made $1,200 for doing nothing but sending someone a link. So if you go to rankfortress.com/affiliate-sign up, if you want to become an affiliate and sign stuff. I do not have a start date for my Gutenberg class. Likely it's going to be in 2 weeks, not this week upcoming, but it will be in 2 weeks likely. Once I actually teach that, then yes. Can you have a class on core vitals? You can ask how many people in the group, if you could. I mean, I hate people ask why I do this, because you ask in the group, Shabazz, if you ask it in the group, I can see how many people are interested in it, you know. So if you do that for me, that'd be great. And that's why I ask questions. Y'all see me ask questions all the time, because I'm like, I want feedback. What are y'all thinking? What can I help y'all with? Can we have a class on core vitals? Yeah, just answered that one. So what do you do when a client has a GMB and a poorly done website? If you change the website too much, the GMB gets hurt, right? First off, if I have a client, obviously I only deal with local SEO. So you have to have a GMB if you want to work with me. Otherwise, I don't work with you, period. All right, I've had people come to me for national SEO and I turn them away. If it is a terrible GMB, terrible website, or any of the other, I'll look at the GMB first, optimize. That's one of the very first things we do, is we go look at the GMB, optimize the GMB. After the GMB is optimized, well, I mean optimization, I look at their competition in depth. I look at them, reviews, description, product, services, area, titles, keywords, the whole gamut, optimize theirs. Then once that's done, I go, okay, let's look at the site. Prior to all this, I've already looked at all this, but I may come back to them and say, hey, need a better website. And I'll upsell them on a website. Websites for me is $350. Most people take my websites, turn around, sell them for $2,000 or more. I have a friend in Jacksonville. He told me, he said, you know how much I sold the website for that you sold to me for $350? I told him, so I don't care, honestly, but go ahead and tell me. He was like, almost $3,000. I was like, awesome, great, cool. You need it. You live in America. So, how hard is it to set up and manage a website on WordPress compared to other builders such as GoDaddy? GoDaddy sucks. I hate them. They bought Vidnami. Even more reason not to like them. But their hosting sucks. Their builder sucks. If you have any hope to ever rank their websites, stay away from them. Get your own hosting. Let's say Snaps. I've seen websites rank in Snaps, and they're okay, but the Snaps websites usually look like garbage. They don't really look good, if you will. Go High Level is another one. Their websites, look good, but they suck for SEO currently. Hopefully they'll change that in the future. All right. Let's see. Link to the suburbs, please. If you want the link to the suburbs, just message me. You have my email address, Jeff. Just drop me an email and I'll send that over to you, because I'm going to go over that in another class where I literally do Here's how we do a neighborhood page. Here's the tools I use. Here's the websites I use, everything. It's a small learning curve, but worth the learning, Georgie boy. Okay. Do you consider location pages with driving stacks part of your G stack? Very likely. Very likely. I will be teaching G stacks, but very likely I am going to be taking the G stacks out of my SOPs, mainly because I don't see them as effective as they used to be. I see other things I do more effective and getting me more bumps, if you will, in my geogrids than a G stack, even the advanced ones. And especially in September, they're going to be updating. Google's going to be coming out with an update. They've announced it almost a year ago, in which to use their entity properties, let's say their Excel sheet, and you create all them driving stacks, you're going to have it on a separate website, a separate domain name, not just their free one anymore. And to do that, you're going to have to buy a domain name, create unique content, not spin content, crappy content, but actually good content, and then fill up all the entities. And then you may cause that site to rank, which is fine, but to actually do that at scale and say, I'm going to do that for 90 different clients, and they're not going to want to do it. And it's not worth it to me from what I've seen so far. Can you please make a Chrome extension for fetching driving directions from each street? You think a lot like me, bro. I have an idea sheet that I literally drop ideas in, and the boys literally start working on them. That's all they're paid to do. I have 3 developers, and that's all they do. So any ideas y'all come up with that you would like to see for Chrome extensions, just let me know. I'm serious. And they do Python scripts and different scripts too. So that would be amazing because it would make my life easy. The hardest part is when you create the driving directions, you can only put 10 different driving directions per map. So if you got 3,000, you're going to have a lot of driving directions. The service GMB can be verified without a PIN verification, or we still need that. It just depends. I've been able to get GMBs with PIN drops. I go over that in a later class as well. PIN drops are very easy to do. They're not always, they're not instant. You're not going to instantaneously get a GMB from a PIN drop usually. It takes a period of time, but I do have a very specific way of doing it. And I'll go over that in another class. It's called pin drop method. Chris Palmer also goes over it as well. Patrick, I'm thinking to sign that to my developer. I thought you're going to say you're having a flash. You are crazy, man. Rocky saying, I think you're going to have a flash sale for $497 on the Jeep. No, I couldn't do that to the people already paid $897, bro. That'd just be wrong. If you don't end in a 7, no. If it don't end in a $7, so here's a reason for that. If it doesn't end in $7, it ain't worth buying. There's actually a book, I forget the name of the guy, but he wrote, it's called, from what I remember, it's the reason why all really good marketing ends in, instead of just saying $100, I'll say $96, $97, $90. They usually say an odd number like 95, 97. It actually has to do with psychology and marketing, and it's actually been studied. So that's why most marketers that are successful will do that. How long do GMB postcards take? Is there a black hat method? Of course there's a black hat method, but I'm not going over how to create GMBs. I just won't do that. Mainly because of the sheer fact you teach one person, then 100 people know, then 1,000 people know, and then it don't work no more. Kevin Factor, can we use your case studies to help in affiliate sales and white label services? Yes, I've had agencies that literally take my image and take my bio and put it on their website and say, hey, we have a 20-year veteran that works with us. Here's his work. And they take my web design, they take my team's web design, they take my SEO and put it all up there. So yes, and I don't care. It don't bother me. Shabazz, um, Atif Shah, you're a developer. You can make the extension in a day, I guess. Please do it for us. And if you're a developer, message me. I'd love to talk to you. I always got ideas, Atif. If you build on Gutenberg, core vitals will have a good start. So I will show you this one. This is one. This is from the course we're doing, and I haven't showed any. I don't think I even posted this in the group yet. So I'm going to show y'all. This is the core vitals, and we just got done with this. I think it took us an hour. I want to say an hour to get this score. Let's go inspect. I'm going to go over here and do it again. But core vitals, I've done Elementor because when George actually is the one that mentioned it to me when he first started using it, because I used to use nothing but Elementor, told him I would never leave Elementor. And then he showed me the core vitals and I said, I got to do a test. And I did a test. And when my core vitals came back on, let's say, for example, the SOD in St. Louis that we're doing was at a 90 something. And that was in about an hour that happened. So I'll be showing y'all that and dropping that in the group as well. So versus Elementor, which is at like a 30 something. Can you explain what warming up a new purchase Facebook account process consists of? I actually dropped that into my agency group. I do not go over that in here because this is specifically for GMB. If you're not in the agency group and you want to be in the agency group, message me and I'll let you in. But that's something I go over in my agency course, creating multiple Facebook accounts, warming them up, using them for lead generation and how to do it. Yeah. Today's question is, what is the biggest SEO myth? All right. Bradley, the guy I'm going to be doing live with later on today, posted something earlier and he's along the lines of me. The best thing I can tell you to do when it comes to SEO is do the opposite of what all of mainstream SEO is telling you to do. For example, Search Engine Journal came out today and said it was the dude smoking this cigar, and he said, if you read the article, how to beat spammy people in GMB, or if you will, black hat SEO. And I put was, well, get better than them. Stop complaining. And y'all hear me say that a lot. But the thing is, Search Engine Journal says, don't think that just because they have the keyword in the title, that's the reason they're ranking. Don't think just because they got the location in the title, that's why they're ranking. No, that's the exact damn reason why they're ranking. I'm not going to think nothing. But you'll have people that are mouthpieces of Google telling you, hey, do this to rank. And really, you should do the exact opposite of what they're telling you to do. And how I've always approached SEO is I reverse engineer everything, which is the exact opposite of what Google would tell you to do. Okay, so that's my thing on that. The myth is do the opposite of everything what Google tells you to. Don't follow anything they're telling you to do. Yeah, Atif Shah, there is no damn sandbox. A sandbox is for white hat SEO people. Let's see. But when you upsell the website, it hurts the GMB. No, it does not. It's going to help the GMB because I'm going to take the GMB, optimize it, rebuild the website, and it's going to be built according to the structure of the GMB. I'm going to build the website mirrors the GMB. Okay. How does it mirror it? Look at the GMB structure, which I went over twice. Okay. For example, if you've ever been to Maps, and let's say I'm looking on Orlando, Florida, and everybody always asks me, and I'm going to show you this. No one ever says anything about it. So if I look up Orlando, what's some things that you would see automatically off this map that's important to Google? possibly restaurants, possibly hotels and attractions, nearby museums, transit pharmacies, ATMs, any of that probably important to them. And where do you pull this information from? Things to do Orlando, when we create our pages, right? Right here. They're telling you travel, exploration, things to do, flights, hotels, all this shit's important to Google. Top experiences, interests, notable neighborhoods. I don't know where I get all that information. Why did I start incorporating it into neighborhood pages? I'm the only one I've ever seen do what I do. Okay. They try to imitate, but they create neighborhood pages, but none of them look this way. Okay. And we'll go over that exactly, but that's why this information up here is why I use it. This is very important to the, if you will, the structure of a GMB. This area, I want to rank in this area. Well, besides me being the #1 plumber in this area, what are some nearby restaurants, hotels, attractions, you know, museums, places to go, things to do, all that crap. Okay. That's why. All right. Let's see what else we got here. How to get a local guide account. I can't cover that in 10 minutes. Drop that in the group and I'll cover that, let's say next Friday, and show you how to do it. It's pretty easy. But is the content from Conversion AI good enough for blog articles? No, right off the bat, no, because you're not going to use Conversion AI, write a 1,500, 2,500 word article and just slap it on a website and think you're going to rank. You're going to have to take that article and polish it. By polishing it, I mean read through it and make sure it reads right and it flows correctly. Usually I do an intro, I do bullet points or subheaders, and then I do a fact section, and then I do an outro, which I went over already. Do you think Go High Level, or I guess, yeah, Go High Level website form submissions work well? Yes, they work amazing. That's the only reason I would use Go High Level at this point, is for their forms. Same thing with Lead Generated. I would use them for their forms. I used to do that, but now I just use Gutenberg form, mainly because I don't, you know, I'm not on Go High Level yet. Now, if they ever actually get to the point where they can make a website pass Core Vitals and actually be SEO friendly, then we'll talk, but not until then. Yeah, Rocky made me laugh. It's not, yeah. There is one, I think someone posted in the group the other day, made me fall out my chair almost, was the one that says it's against Google's terms of service. I don't give a shit. And then in the group where I'm asking y'all things that I say a lot, it's because I'm going to be coming up with some merch, if you will, some hats and stuff so I can wear them. Talking about Australian suburbs, we need to add suburbs with postcodes on GMB service area settings if the client has a physical. No, I don't use a whole lot of you know, if it's a physical location, I won't use them. I don't use them. You know, you got a physical location. If you're in, let's say, Brisbane, wherever you're at in Brisbane, you're in Brisbane. You're not in another suburb. You may service it, but you're not located physically anywhere but Brisbane. GMB cards are slow. Yeah. In Oz due to pandemic lockdown. Yep, that is true. Patrick says, yeah, I'm not sharing right now. I'll do that in the group. But my biggest myth on SEO, it's free. Yeah, it's never, it's definitely not free. Another one you'll hear is once you get ranked, you'll never have to do it again. It's bullshit. You always have to do it, because the biggest selling point is if once you get ranked on SEO, you'll never have to do pay-per-click again. It's a lie. Most people that are successful that I've noticed in very competitive industries, I'm not talking about an industry with, let's say, 45,000 in population or below. Yeah, once you do SEO for them, probably never going to have to do it again. It's going to be easy. If it's 100,000 or more, harder. any good place like Orlando, Atlanta, Las Vegas, New York, any of these, you're always going to be doing SEO. Okay. And that's one of the biggest selling points is people say, well, you're not going to have to do pay-per-click. Most people that are successful in SEO still do pay-per-click because instead of having my name on there once, now I got it on there 2 or 3 times because I'm using pay-per-click. Patrick, you and Bradley live, make sure. Yeah, he's actually doing an entire walkthrough and setup, subdomain, the whole gamut. And then, of course, I'll be doing the same thing. So pay-per-click is awesome. Start small, then scale up. Yeah, and pay-per-click, I mean ads, whether that's Facebook ads or Google ads, but very specifically with me is Google ads because I don't really touch Facebook ads because, you know, you get your account banned for looking left instead of right. Your logo is cool enough. Yep, I appreciate that. As standalone, Merc. You're the only American that can say Brisbane properly. That's because Jeff Veal taught me. That's why. It's not Brisbane. It's Brisbane, you idiot. Or as Jeff would call, he's like, shut up, you cunt. He would say all types of craziness. I have people tell me, he says, Jeff is so rude. I said, he's Australian. Leave him alone. He ain't going to deal with your crap. I've seen some of Jeff. Y'all have never heard him. I might have to have him on here. I did a live call. He let me listen to one of his live calls before, and I was cracking up. Someone calling him wanting to order some catering or something, and they wanted a caterer and only had 10 people. It's like, go order some curry pizza. Remember that one, Jeff? That was funny. Any other questions? Any other questions? Let's see here because we're almost done. Facebook ads is branding, correct? So think of ads as a way of getting your name out there. I actually did one that a lot of people in my agency course where I went over, I posted, if you haven't noticed, it's in the agency course group. I posted one. It was a tripwire, what we call tripwire or clickbait to get people to opt into your offer. So if you haven't went over there and you're in my agency course and you're in Reloaded, go over there to the agency course because I posted it. And then it's an example. It's an example of, yeah, figures. See, me posting that is against Facebook rules. So I'm going to have to send this out to y'all in a, you know, I'll show it to you. Let me show this to y'all, and I'll do a screenshot before Facebook takes this down because apparently it's against their rules because I'm spying on somebody, I guess. So this is a clickbait offer, right? And you notice how, and it's an ad just saying, hey, download my free shit. Really, it's download my stuff. And it goes to a sales funnel, and his sales funnel looks like this. Right? But the thing is, if you notice down here, a lot of the people that I know, or almost 300 people, 260 of them have liked it, and 24 comments and 45 shares. Very, very effective. 45 shares. So why I say do Tripwire in my agency course is because I know the shit works. Come up with an offer that your audience will like, right? Is it GMB SEO? Is it pay-per-click? Is it, you know, home remodeling? Is it, you know, solar panels, solar roofs, whatever it is, come up with it. And then you could push it with Facebook ads to build up your email list, build up your email list. And then once your email list is built up, you can send them offers and stuff like that. All right. Let's see here. I'm going live with Bradley. It's almost 9 now in 2 more hours. And it's already posted in the Facebook group, YouTube, and all the private groups as well. Make sure you give StreamYard permission to access your Facebook. That way you can ask questions live and me and him will see it. All right, I saw where you got the content for fax from. Would fax be more beneficial under the respective service? that is another place that you can put them. So I will do them on the articles, but I would also encourage you to do them under each of the services. And also, another thing we can do that I also tell people to do is you have different blog categories. Let's say I do home remodeling, right? And underneath that's kitchen remodeling, bathroom remodeling, entire home remodeling. And let's say I write an article about kitchen remodeling, and I got like 5 articles in there about kitchen remodeling. Well, if you put what we call a blog roll underneath the main service page, so your main service is for, let's say in this case, kitchen remodeling, and then the bottom of that page, you could put facts about kitchen remodeling, and then put a blog roll that only pulls in the blogs from kitchen remodeling. If you go to bathroom remodeling, same setup. So that's another way of doing it, and I would encourage you to do it. The more content you can add to a page every month, the better. And I know Lane at Genesis Signals talks about the same thing with the press release he did. The more you put content on a page, it forces Google to come back and look at that page. So Bradley is the creator of the WordPress tool. Once he has sold 54, if you will, it's called master license copies, then he's not selling them anymore. And only the people that own the master copies can sell them. And I'll tell you, I bought the first master copy. George has one. If you want to know what it does or what George thinks about it, ask George. He's already posted it, commented back to me and said it's freaking gold, because he was wondering why I said it looked like a damn gold pot behind a door. You want door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. So the agency class today, you'll watch the replay. Yep. Just watch it on the back end. Is there a place to post blogs publicly besides your direct website? There, we'll go over it, but there's a ton of different places that you can post them. Do I think it's necessary? No, I don't. Not if you have quantum. I'll put it that way. If you have quantum, it's not necessary because you're already going to put them at a bunch of high DA websites. So if there's not any more questions, we are done for today, and I will have a good weekend. I hope y'all have a good weekend. If you have any other questions, post them in the group. If you want to sign up to become an affiliate, if you want to sign up for the GMB bundle and you don't have my email address or have any questions or whatever it is you want, post it in the group, tag me so I'll see it, and I'll try my best to get back to you and in a timely fashion, but I do try to keep my weekends to myself. So I appreciate you guys, and I will talk again to you soon.